Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, passion for excellence.
This is Autoline Daily for the 1st of July 2010, and now the news. A couple of days ago, we reported that Ford had to make a big payment to the UAW's Retiree Healthcare Trust Fund, the VEBA. Wall Street was watching Ford like a hawk, trying to see if it would pay that $3.8 billion in cash or in stock. The feeling on the street was that if Ford paid in stock, that would be a signal that it felt its stock price would fall in the near future. So yesterday, Ford made that payment, and it made it in cash. In fact, the company paid down some other bond debts as well. In the second quarter alone, Ford reduced its debt by $7 billion, which will save it $470 million a year in interest payments. Though it still has $27 billion in debt, Ford is paying it off ahead of schedule. Mexico's economic minister says that BMW is considering investing $1 billion in the country. According to Bloomberg, the company wants to increase the production of parts in Mexico, which will then be used at its U.S. plant in order to save money. BMW says it wants to save nearly $5 billion, that's 4 billion euros, by 2012 by increasing the number of parts bought outside of Germany. The company also wants to avoid the impact of foreign currency swings on its earnings. Mazda began selling the all-new Premacy in Japan, also known as the Mazda 5. The 7-seat model features elements of the company's Nagare design concept, the first production model to do so. The car will initially be offered with front-wheel drive, but four-wheel drive will be available later. It's powered by a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine mated to a 5-speed automatic and has optional start-stop technology. Fuel economy for the Premacy averages between 35 and 37 miles per gallon based on Japan's test cycle, and it also depends on how it's equipped. That works out to 6.7 to 6.4 liters per 100 kilometers. Pricing for the Premacy starts at just over $20,000 in Japan. Well, surprise, surprise, looks like U.S. regulators have not found any electronic defects in Toyotas that could lead to unintended acceleration. According to the Wall Street Journal, NHTSA has only been able to identify 2 causes of the problem so far: floor mat entrapment and accelerator pedals that are slow to return to idle. And we already knew all that. Adding to the company's woes, however, is that it is faced with yet another recall. This one coming right after the recently discovered Lexus HS 250h fuel leakage problem. The Detroit News reports that some 270,000 vehicles sold worldwide could have an engine stalling issue, a big safety concern if they cut out on the highway. The company has received more than 200 complaints about this in Japan, with some drivers reporting that the engines made strange noises. Toyota says there have been no accidents because of this. Apparently, Chinese workers are being heard because wages there are rising. According to Bloomberg, at least 9 cities and provinces in the country have upped the minimum pay rate by as much as 1/3. Beijing increased the base wage to 960 yuan, that's roughly $142 a month. Altogether, more than 20 provinces and municipalities plan to increase minimum wages this year. These changes should help moderate and stabilize the Chinese economy, which has been growing at a staggering pace in recent years. The pay raises are a nice boost for workers, but some experts argue they will not be enough because of the increasing cost of living and inflation. Coming up next, we'll hear what you have to say about iPhone apps, fuel from algae, Fisker Automotive, and the Mazda 2, because coming up is You Said It.
Introducing Bridgestone's 3rd generation of run-flat tires with groundbreaking new Bridgestone technologies. Bridgestone run-flat tires offer improved ride comfort, lower rolling resistance, and improved wear while giving you the peace of mind and comfort you need.
And now it's time to hear from you, our viewers. Tony Gray saw our report on the iPhone apps for the Smart and says, "Now I want one for my Bimmer that gives me a push-to-pass feature, the ability to change traffic lights at will, a cancel button to turn off eternal turn signals on Buicks driven by men with hats, and a tractor beam to shove folks out of my way. Tony, I want that app too, and I'd even be willing to pay more than 99 cents for it." Miradart wonders, What kind of fuel is made from algae? Is it a biofuel diesel kind of product, or a biofuel gasoline, or something else? Miradart, the beauty of algae is that it actually produces an oil that can be refined just like petroleum is refined. That means you can make gasoline, diesel, or even jet fuel from algae. And the best part is, it can be refined in existing oil refineries. That's why the oil industry is so interested in algae. In fact, ExxonMobil alone is investing over $500 million in research and using algae for fuel. Hummers222 wants to know, Fisker is an American company, right? Yep, Hummers. Fisker Automotive is an American company. But it was started by Henrik Fisker, a Danish designer who started at BMW and did the Z07 concept car, to name one of them. He then joined the Ford Motor Company to head up design at Aston Martin, and later took over Ford's advanced design studio in California. He later left Ford, started a Coachworks company, and then later started Fisker Automotive to make plug-in hybrids. HTG questions our report that the Ford Fiesta and Mazda 2 are built on the same platform. Really, John, he asks? The Fiesta and Mazda 2 are built on the same platform? Can't be. I walked from one car to the other at the New York Auto Show, and boy, are they different looking. Just shows what I know. Herman, the Fiesta and Mazda 2 use the same architecture, which means the basic structure of the cars are the same. But common architecture still allows for different bodies and different interiors and different components. In fact, Mazda claims that the 2 only shares 4 components with the Fiesta. But I also take this to be yet another clue to what I believe is the slow-motion divorce taking place between Mazda and Ford. Hey, don't forget to tune into Autoline After Hours, where it will be rapid fire for the whole show. Join me, the auto extremist Peter DeLorenzo, Bloomberg's David Welch, as we answer your questions and respond to your comments, along with Jason Vines, who will be joining us tonight. So get your questions and comments into us for Autoline After Hours starting tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. And that's it for the top news in today's global automotive industry. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.